Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Chisabel Onyuke. I am the Communications Manager at the Bartlett School of Sustainable Construction. And I'm really happy today to have with us Dr. Kat Berger, who is the Program Director for our MBA in Major Infrastructure Delivery. And we are here today to tackle some of the frequently asked questions we've gotten from visitors who are interested in our program. And we hope that this will answer some of the questions you have and also give you a chance to get back to us if there's some points that we haven't covered. So before we jump into that, I would like to introduce Dr. Kat to tell us a little bit about herself.
Hi, Chisabel. Thanks for having me. So my name is Kat Berger, and as you already said, I'm the Deputy Director for the MBA program. I'm also an Associate Professor in Major Infrastructure Delivery at the Bartlett School of Sustainable Construction.
Awesome. Okay, so we've launched our brand new MBA. We're very proud about it. And as you know, some people might have questions, especially as it's an innovative course and one of a kind. And so thanks for helping us out today. We're just going to jump straight into some of the questions that were sent to us. So the main one off the top is, when do applications to the course open?
Well, they actually open now. So for those who would like to start studying in September, October this year, we are accepting applications now, and they will close early in the summer.
And what happens if somebody misses that application deadline?
Well, you can look up the exact application deadline on our website. So unfortunately, if you don't submit in time, then we can't consider your application. So they do need to be submitted by 5 o'clock on the deadline. But if you can't make your application this year, you might still be able to apply for the following year, which opens in autumn of this year.
And for the MBA, what are we looking for? What are the academic entry requirements?
Yeah, so we're looking for an experienced cohort for the MBA, and the academic entry requirements are, first of all, a UK equivalent bachelor's degree with at least a lower second class honours. So it could be an overseas qualification of equivalent standard, but that's the basic academic entry requirement. And on top of this, we're looking for at least 5 years of relevant professional experience, so middle management level in the management of projects. We do consider applications on an individual basis, but we're looking for this combination of experience and the degree background.
And part of the application process with a lot of postgraduate courses is a personal statement. What are you looking for when people write their personal statements?
Yeah, it's a very common question, and I know people get a bit worried about what to write, but we just really want to know, first of all, why you want to study this particular program. So what your objectives are, where you think this may take you. What is it particularly about the program that interests you? So we would like to know that you've looked at the program content and the opportunities for networking that it offers. And, you know, this might be something that you find attractive. So that's something that we look for in the personal statement. And of course, we need to understand how you will fit into the cohort that we're assembling. So it's about showcasing, I suppose, your personal and academic and professional background and how this has prepared you for what this course will, what it will mean. And of course, it's a challenging course and will require commitment and self-motivation to a degree. So I think evidencing those in the personal statement is quite important. And of course, we want to follow our students on this program, and so we would like to know where you'd like to go professionally through this program of study, and I suppose in the long term as well. So those are some of the key points we would like to see in a personal statement.
And is there an English language requirement for the program? Excuse me.
Yeah, there is. So we require what the university calls level 2. That was previously referred to as a good level. And you can look up on the website exactly what that means. I know that in terms of the IELTS, that's an overall score of 7 with a minimum of 6.5 in each component. The university accepts a wide range of English language tests and evidence of prior education in English, but it's just that, you know, there's a minimum standard required.
Okay, and this next question comes up a bit about when exactly in the cycle should someone submit their application?
As soon as possible.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, look, we are accepting applications and we are considering them on a rolling basis. So the earlier you submit your application, the earlier we can assess it and potentially get back to you. And we do expect that there will be a large volume of high quality applications. So I think the earlier, the better.
And now to talk about money, how much does the MBA cost at UCL?
Yeah, so the MBA is a part-time program that runs over 2 years. And the total cost is £41,500. This is the same for UK and overseas applicants.
Yeah. And then if people are in need of that, do we offer any kind of funding to support their studies?
Not currently. No, we don't offer studentships for the MBA. There may be flexible payment options available, such as termly payment plans for well, in certain cases, but no studentships at the moment.
Yeah, thanks for clearing that up. And when we're talking about the program in total over the 2 years, how many credits are in the program?
There are 180 credits in total. So there are 8 compulsory modules and each attracts 15 credits worth of credits. And basically each module is then followed with, not each module, all the modules are followed with a final dissertation. The dissertation is like a management consultancy project, and then has another 60 credits. So this is how in total you get to the 180.
And at this point, could we delve into what the entire 2 years looks like? What does it take to complete the program? What do the 2 years break down into? It's a bit of a long one, sorry.
It's a bit, well, so it's an exciting program, I think. And it's designed to capture executives that who are working full time and in the delivery of major projects. So the structure is flexible in the sense that it tries to minimize the time away that people need to take from their day-to-day from the programs, but also maximize the amount of knowledge sharing that we can deliver. So it's taught in, as I said already, there are 8 taught modules and they are delivered in person. But each module is delivered in a block of 4 days. And of these 8 modules are delivered in blocks of 2. So to make this a bit clearer, we basically start the first module on a Saturday and Saturday morning. It runs Saturday morning, Sunday, Monday and Tuesday, so to Tuesday evening. And then people get a break for a day. And then the second module runs Thursday, Friday, Saturday and Sunday. So 4 days for each module with 1 day in between, which means that people only need to take 1 week away from the office basically, but it's very intense. It is basically 8 full days in a period of 9 days. That's the idea.
Yeah, and as you said, designed to minimize that time away from the office, but that doesn't mean that is the entirety of the learning. It's just that aspect of in-person. Yes.
Yeah, sorry, I should probably have clarified. So this is, of course, only the in-person teaching that I've mentioned here, because I think that's what most people need to plan for. But yes, there are networking opportunities. In particular, there is the idea that we can have an overlap between the cohorts. There are evening events. There is, of course, the entire portfolio of online material and online resources available. And there is the management consultancy project, of course, that I mentioned earlier on as well.
And how big are the classes? What are we aiming for?
Yeah, we expect a maximum of 35 students. So we don't want a cohort bigger than this because it's an executive program. And so we want to maximize the opportunity for interaction, and there's a maximum of people you can effectively interact with. So we have developed this program with extensive input from CEOs and senior industry partners, and it's aimed at future leaders. So we think that, you know, having 35 people max in each cohort is probably a good size.
And finally, actually, this is the last question out of the group of questions that come up a lot. Who are the faculty members, the people powering the entirety of the 2-year program here at UCL?
Yeah, so here at UCL, you can have a look at the faculty members on the Bartlett School of Sustainable Construction on our website. And you'll see that many of them are world-leading academics. Of course, some of the teaching will be done by the program director, Giuliano Denicol, who's also director of the Center for Mega Projects Delivery at UCL. And he's worked as supply chain management consultant at High Speed too. But I think key to emphasize that is that, you know, we do work very closely, and the plan is also to involve very closely guest speakers from industry. So if you look at on the website of the MBA, of the members of the advisory board, we do expect that they will be involved in the some of the delivery of the modules. So there's Mark Thurston, CEO of High Speed 2, Andy Mitchell, CEO of Thames Tideway Tunnel, Sue Kershaw, Managing Director of Transportation at Costain, for example. And for example, Sue has delivered for UCL a module on governance, and will also likely be involved in that for the MBA. So we aim to bring together both our academics, but also with guest speakers from industry throughout, so we can leverage this connection between, I suppose, theory and practice, because of course it's a very specific program that we're talking about here. So we want to get the best of both worlds.
Thank you so much, Dr. Katz. Is there anything you'd like to say that maybe we haven't covered in the FAQs, but you think might come up?
I'm not sure. I think there were lots and lots of questions to that. If anyone has more questions, of course, get in touch, and we will be happy to answer.
At the bottom of this video, we linked the website address to the page for BSSC MBA in Major Infrastructure Delivery. On that page, you'll find so much information, including a downloadable copy of the program brochure if you want to download and keep. You'll also find the email addresses of Giuliano and Kat, and they are so open to answering any of your questions if you want to email them. So please don't be shy. Get in touch if you come to visit our page. We do look forward to hearing from you, and we hope that this FAQ session has been helpful. Thank you so much for your time, Dr. Kat. And I promise not to have too many questions for you for now. And thank you everyone for spending this time with us, and we hope you have a good rest of your day. Bye.
Thank you, Chizawa. Okay. Thanks.